Hello friends, my name is Tin Savior. Welcome back to IELTS Tube. In today's lesson, we will discuss about opinion essays. In the last class, I had discussed about writing introduction for discussion essays. Agree or disagree? To what extent do you agree or disagree? Discuss both views and give your opinion. So these are some common types of opinion essays in IELTS. So today we will see about these type of questions. Before explaining how to write an answer for these questions, we will clear some doubts about these type of questions. I have written one question here and some of the questions students normally ask. The question is here. Some people say that all historic buildings should be knocked down and replaced with new ones. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? The statement says that historic buildings are not important and they should be dismantled and replaced with new good buildings. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Before explaining the answer, we will see some questions or doubts students normally ask. The first question is, can we go both sides? That means, after the introduction, they write one body paragraph for agreement, and in the next body paragraph, they write points for disagreement. Is it possible? So we will see how it is possible, or is it possible at all. And the next question, is it possible to go partial? Here, the students normally ask, we don't have a lot of ideas to go one side, so can we go partial? You might wonder, what is the difference between going both sides and going partial? There is always a difference, and we will explain that. And one important question they ask, while choosing one side, there are less ideas to explain what to do. That means, if they choose only agree or if they choose only disagree, they cannot write a lot of ideas. After writing the first body paragraph, they may complain that they have less ideas to go for the second body paragraph. Why it happens? Then what can we do? So dear friends, we will explain these questions today. So if you haven't subscribed to my video, please subscribe it and press the bell icon. Dear friends, you have already seen the question. So I will answer the first question. Can you write both sides? That means, can you write agree and can you write disagree for the same statement? Look at these two questions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? So these are two interrogative statements, and these two interrogative statements are made into a compound sentence by using or. That means, do you agree or disagree with this statement? So from the question it's very clear that you have only two options, either agree with it or disagree with it. There is not even a third option left for you. I will make it very clear for you with another way. Do you agree? Yes, I agree with it. Do you disagree? Yes, I disagree with it. That means it's a very clear contradiction. You agree with the same statement and you disagree with the same statement. That means it's a contradiction that is not possible here. Next, do you agree? No. Do you disagree? No. That means you are not taking a stand. That's not even possible here. The third option, do you agree? Yes, I agree with it. Do you disagree? No, I do not disagree with it. I do not disagree means I agree with it. I agree with it means I do not disagree with it. So dear friends, for agree-disagree questions, you have only one option. Either agree with it or disagree with it. So dear friends, now we will see the second question. Is it possible to go partial? There is always a difference between going partial and choosing both sides. We will see what is the difference between these both. I will tell you a simple story. Just imagine two friends go for watching a movie and they enjoy watching the movie and they come out of the cinema. And the first friend says to the second one, I really like the movie, especially the climax was very superb. And the second friend says, yes, I agree with you, the climax was very superb, but it could have been made much more better if they had added more VFX. The second friend says, he agrees with the first friend, but in his opinion, the climax would have been much more better if they had added more VFX. Is it possible? Is that friend right in his opinion? Yes, he is right in his opinion. He agrees with the friend. At the same time, he is also looking the other side of it or giving some options. So here it is also possible in your essays. You can agree with one point. At the same time, you can also look the other side of it. We will see both contradiction and looking the other side of it. How it is possible. How these are different. Read these sentences. Preserving old buildings is essential to save the culture. This statement says that we need to have more cultural old buildings. These are very important to save the culture. The second statement says, we need to have modern buildings as these are more useful than old buildings. The second statement prefers modern buildings. Here it says that we need to have more modern buildings because these types of buildings are more useful than old buildings. It's very clear that these two statements are contradicting with each other. So if there are any statements like these in your essays, you will lose the mark because it's a contradiction. Now we will see how to go partial, or in other words we can say how we can look the other side of it. In the first body paragraph, we can write some points in favor of old buildings. For example, cultural. Old building is very important in terms of culture, so it should be preserved. Generating revenue. Every old building is visited by thousands of people, so it's a good source of income. Third, architecture. That means every old building is made with a special type of architecture. Because of this importance, we need to preserve or save an old building. At the same time, you can write in the second body paragraph, however, there are few old buildings that are very weak in its structure and it cannot withstand natural calamities. That means if there is any flood or earthquake, it can be demolished. So, because of these reasons, we cannot maintain such buildings. Because some buildings are not useful, there is no point in telling that we need to save them. So here you are not making a contradiction. You are agreeing with the statement that it should be preserved. At the same time, you are looking the other side of it. There is a possibility that there are some buildings that are very weak and not useful. Such buildings should be demolished. So dear friends, going partial or choosing both sides are different. So I would always suggest you to choose one side, either agree or disagree. If you go partial, if there is any contradiction between the statements, you will lose the mark. So dear friends, now we will see the third question. Many students complain that if they choose one side, that means agree or disagree, they have lack of ideas. They cannot write two body paragraphs. We will see how it is. What are the problems and what is the solution to that? For the same question, you can write the first body paragraph with the direct benefits. That means you disagree here that we cannot demolish the old buildings. Instead, we need to preserve it. So in the first body paragraph, you can write direct benefits. That means cultural significance of it, economical importance of old buildings, and knowledge it gives to the people. So because of this importance, we need to save the old buildings. So in the first body paragraph, you can give a small conclusion in the last, and you can establish that because of this importance, you need to save the old buildings. In the second body paragraph, you are not writing the benefits. Instead, you are looking the other side. What will happen if these are demolished? That means if you demolish all the buildings, what problems are likely to happen? Disrespect to forefathers, loss of information, future generation left clueless, overall losing identity. So these are some problems if we demolish the older buildings. We are disrespecting the old people and the future generation will be having no ideas of the past. Overall, if you demolish the old buildings, you are losing your identity. So here you are writing in favor of older buildings. Here also you are writing in favor of older buildings. That means the total essay is in disagreement. So dear friends, when you write agree-disagree questions, it's always better to choose one side and always try to avoid contradictions. So in the next video, I will be talking about to what extent do you agree-disagree questions. Till then, bye.